On January 29, 1979, 16-year-old Brenda Spencer killed 2 people and wounded 9 others at San Diego's Grover Cleveland Elementary School. This is a case where one of the first school shooters was a woman.
Rifle her father had given her for Christmas.
Brenda Spencer lived in a house with her father in the San Carlos neighborhood. They were poor. Brenda was described as this introverted, crummy-looking girl with a hatred for police. This is the shooting that inspired the song I Don't Like Mondays. In 1978, Brenda was referred to a facility for problem pupils. Facility staff discovered that Brenda was suicidal. That following summer, she was arrested for shooting out of her window and burglary. Later that year, she was recommended to a mental hospital, but her father refused. That same month, Christmas Day, her father would gift her a 10-22 semi-automatic rifle. When she was in custody, she was asked why she thought her father gifted her a gun, to which she replied, "I think he wanted me to kill myself." On the morning of the shooting, Brenda's father would leave her home alone in the house that was only across the street from the elementary school. An hour after her father had left, Brenda grabbed her rifle and began firing. Brenda would begin shooting at children who were waiting outside the school doors. Brenda then killed a custodian who was trying to pull the principal to safety. This officer would then respond for assistance during the incident. He was shot in the neck as he arrived. Brenda would then lock herself inside her house with no way in and no way out for the next 7 hours. During this time, she received a call from a journalist. The reporter would ask Brenda questions such as if she was the shooter, to which she replied yes. After a brief conversation, Brenda stated that she had to go. She had shot a police officer. Other officers would resort to shielding themselves with a garbage truck, which they would have to then use to drive into the line of fire to gather the students. The spree would end 16 minutes later. So many shots had already been fired. Brenda would find her home surrounded by SWAT and the emergency negotiations team. Brenda would show no fear as she threatened the police by saying that she would come out shooting, but ultimately, she would surrender peacefully.
Brenda pleaded guilty, and so her bizarre Monday statement has remained the only explanation.
Brenda was tried as an adult and sentenced to life at the Institution for Women in China in California, with a chance of parole after 25 years. It has been over 30 years since Brenda's attack, and Brenda is now 61 years old. She had numerous parole board hearings, in which she made many claims to either avoid. During her last hearing, she told the parole board members she was stipulating to a 3-year denial, meaning she won't get another chance at parole until 2025.
Do you remember the gun?
I remember the rifle because I had gotten that a month previous.
As a Christmas present?
Yeah, it was for Christmas.
From your father? Do you remember loading the gun? Do you remember pointing the gun?
I remember looking out and seeing like commando types sneaking up on the house and stuff. And I don't remember actually going in and getting the rifle and loading it up, but I remember seeing them and being real scared and terrified.